So I know a variety of grocery stores have these particular options. I know sometimes I show vegan food that not everyone can get, stuff that's pre-prepared, stuff that you have to buy online, stuff that you have to buy. So I want to make sure that I still provide cheap, affordable cooking things for you guys, where you guys can go out to the store, even if you don't live in a vegan area, you can go ahead and get. Okay, so just to get started, I have these shiitake mushrooms. Depending on where you live, maybe they're even fresher than this. These are packaged from Monterey. So there you go. Those aren't expensive. I'm in California, and Monterey's in California. Olives, chopped, store brand. You don't need anything fancier than that. It's the same thing. And then I got, this is store brand. Private Selection is a store brand. And this is angel hair. You could pick the width or the type of spaghetti you want. It's made in Italy, supposedly, I guess. I don't know. Private Selection is store brand, so I'm not so sure, but I guess, you know, I won't call them liars. It's supposedly this is made in Italy. I guess it's imported or bought or whatever. And this is vegetarian, no preservatives. So sometimes when you're looking for vegetarian things, you don't have to spend a ton of money on it. Sometimes I have found that they are actually the store brand item. It's cheaper to produce, you know, something without animal products. I also really like Classico sauces. What you see is what you get in the label for the most part. So I'm just getting a clean Cabernet infused marinara. No alcohol content is in this. It contains soybeans and soybean oil, olive oil, spices, onions, sugar, salt, dehydrated onion, garlic, tomato puree, diced tomatoes. So I'm getting a pretty clean Classico. I'm getting a pretty clean sauce. Now, I guess the reason I like these sauces, if you're not looking to do a homemade sauce, is because with the Classico brand, what you see is what you get. And yes, it's not a vegetarian or vegan brand of spaghetti sauce, and it's nothing completely out of this world, but it's reasonably priced, and they have a lot of nice selection, and you can get vegetarian and vegan sauces, so I really like those. So we'll get started. Oh, and I have an eggplant. This is an American eggplant sitting over here. And eggplants are so versatile. They're such a vegetarian-friendly food. So we're going to be working with that. Alright, so one thing I'm going to start doing is multitasking in order to make this meal come out a little bit faster, because I am hungry. And if you're cooking, if you're vegan, it's good to, if you don't want to cook every night, cook a little extra to begin with, so that you're not cooking every single day. That way you have something to work with, something to eat for later on. So it's always key to cooking more than you need if you hate cooking. Olive oil, I like to stick this in boiling water or in the hot water for my spaghetti so that it doesn't stick to the pan as much, and it's also going to add quite a bit of flavor. We're actually going to be working on the eggplant and the mushrooms while I wait for that water, just so that we can get things done faster. A huge tip for cooking food, well, vegan food doesn't take that long, first of all. So, because it's vegetables and stuff like that. So, one tip for doing it is to not wait until you're dying of deprivation, starvation, which I'm not at the moment. So, you don't always want to wait to that point when you feel like you could eat anything. I'm a pretty comfortable cutter when it comes to the cutting board, and I'm gonna skip where I cut the vegetables because it tends to make my viewers uncomfortable because I'm fast at it. But what I'm gonna do is just put these here. These are just, I don't have the greatest tools at home, so these aren't like beautifully chopped or anything like that. So just a warning, I'm not trying to say I'm the best cutter, that those are even or amazing. So there you go. I'm just going to put these in the pan. You can always use less, but I'm going to try to make more than one serving of this, and I want there to be plenty of sustenance. I don't always want to cook with meat alternatives, so I know a lot of people appreciate that I've shown those on my channel. And I will do more of those, of course, when I find new interesting things that you wouldn't think would be a meat alternative, because they're just great to have because they're fast, and you don't have to feel like you're not getting something. Now I'm just going to put those Monterey mushrooms on top. But today I want to do a non-meat alternative. It's always good to have more of these sitting around. These are so wonderful, sauteed in a vegan butter like Benacol, and reduced, and then you could add a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc. That's delicious. You could do that. So when I buy the mushrooms, I would like to have a few extras lying around. I bought dried mushrooms yesterday and tried to experiment with Monterey Blend dried mushrooms, though those were completely terrible, so today it's fresh mushrooms. I absolutely love sauteed mushrooms in spaghetti, sitting on top of spaghetti, spinach, so you could also do this dish with spinach, zucchini. It would taste amazing. For those of you wondering about that white wine reduction thing I was talking about, it's actually really inexpensive to do, but if you're under the age of 21, you're obviously going to have somebody supervising you or willing to obtain the white wine for you. It's not going to, or if you're the parent cooking, you can go ahead and do this as well and serve it to your entire family, because the alcohol will burn off. But I'm going to take the Benacol reduced cholesterol butter, and this is vegan. It's got no fat. The butter is vegetable derived. So if you have somebody in your family that has a heavy, you know, cholesterol level, things like that, this is good, even if you don't plan on going vegan. So just kind of lightly coat the vegetables with it. It doesn't have to be heavy, or they'll kind of counteract the lightweight meal, I feel. That's just my opinion. Now, a lot of white wines are charred, or sorry, they are filtered through animal bones. So what you want is a vegan white wine. So I'm going to put a list or a link to barnivore.com, because I'm going to be using local brands for this. I like Sauvignon Blanc because it's a lightweight, grapefruity flavor. You probably need even less than this. It just depends on the batch that you're cooking. Anything you don't use in here for your vegetables, go ahead and place it in the sauce. This is the second time I've done this, but maybe you didn't notice it in my previous video. I think it was my Lady and the Tramp video. Vegetables never take any real time to cook. I'm always pretty comfortable, even if I'm starving, to cook some vegetables and cook a little bit of tofu and eat that. I've done the sauteed mushrooms when I'm starving, and because you can do them really fast. But if you're really hungry and you don't want to put in the effort, what you can do is just get these Morningstar meatballs. These are all vegan. They're what you're doing when you're looking to find out if they're all vegan when you're shopping with Morningstar, because a lot of the products aren't, is to look for 100% vegetarian, and that's exactly what they mean by that. 100% vegetarian means vegan. It's a 100% vegetarian. So we're almost done. I'm just going to turn the fire down a little bit because I just really hate when the water pours into the fire. So yeah, I'm just going to let it kind of just sit there and cook. I hate al dente pasta, that's just me. So we're just going to make sure that it's mushy. Most people would hate me for that, but it's your meal, your decision. And that's it with the chopped olives, and you have a fabulous meatless spaghetti. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks so much for watching.